Hello everyone, it's Bethany from Southern Couture, and I wanted to share something with you guys that a lot of you were really interested in when I posted on Instagram recently. I am now an ambassador for Zebra, so I'm really excited about this opportunity to try a lot of their products and be able to share them with y'all, because I know how much so many of y'all love finding new pens and highlighters and markers that you can use in your Bible journal, in a planner, or for any kind of project that you want to do, drawing, something very artistic. And so I'm just excited to share this with y'all. This is not by any means a video that I'm required to do. I'm not being paid to do this video. I simply am doing this video really because there were some of you that were asking, like, what are the different ones? What is the, some of you had seen these retractable marker pens and you were wanting to know more about those. And so I thought that it would just be fun to do a little video to share more detail about these goodies. And then some of you are wanting to get some of these, but you said it might be kind of confusing to try to find them and that type of thing when you're trying to shop when there's so many different ones and different things that they each do. So that's why this video I'm doing it, is because I really just wanted to help you guys when I had such a large response about it. And so that's what today's all about. We're just going to dig in. What I have done is I wanted to not only show you kind of how they look and the, like different types of fine tip and a thicker tip brush pens, that kind of thing, so that you can see them. I went into my planner that I have so you can see that. And these planner pages this is the Dayspring Studio 71 planner. I did some of the like swatches in the back on an extra little note page, and the paper is not like a super thick. I think it's pretty standard for a planner, and so I thought that would help you too with being able to see if there's bleed through or not, especially if you're wanting to use like the marker pens, because I love that it's a marker and a pen. If you're wanting to use like the Mildliner creative markers for highlighting, that type of thing, you'll be able to see how well a paper is going to handle it. And I'm really pleased with how most of these did in the planner. So I'll show you that. And then if you want to grab any of these goodies, I'm going to have them linked down below. And I will do my best to have each item, like the Clickart retractable marker pen, and then a link exactly to it, so you're not having to try to just search and can't find what you need, and maybe that'll make it a lot easier for you guys as well. So let's get this stuff moved out of the way just a little bit, and I'll get the planner to the back where you can see that. Now, I have, this is, like I said, the Dayspring planner that I showed you guys. I did a flip through a while back, and so if you're interested in this planner, you can grab it from Dayspring still, and I will leave a link to it down below, and a link where the video of my flip through is, if you're kind of curious for more details about it. But like I said, the pages are pretty standard, so I wouldn't, I wouldn't worry about if they're different from other planners with bleed through, because I think these are going to do pretty good. Now, here we've got the first one is that retractable marker pen, and I want to grab a little. I've got these little, they got crinkled in here a little bit, but I've got this little sticky pad in my pen bag that this is from Ali Scraps. And so I want to use this real quick as we're going through, so I can kind of show you and write with them. And then this little bag, in case anybody's going to ask or curious, this is also an Amazon find that I found from a friend on Instagram who had shared about it, so I'll leave it linked down below too. I love it. It's got pockets in here, plenty of room for pens, and then what I really love is that I keep some of my like top colors and favorites that I use right in here, so you can just unzip it if you're working in your planner or whatever. So pretty cool how it stays standing up like that, and it has the little strap here so you can carry it easily. So let's go ahead. We have the retractable marker pen, and what I really love about it is that I'll try to make this brief and not talk too much because we have so many goodies. But it's a retractable, so you don't have to worry about taking a cap off if you want quick, easy access. A lot of these cases too, I don't know if this one, I don't think this one does, but some of these cases you can actually flip over and it turns into like a stand to hold them up. So that's really cool. I don't think that this one does, but some of the other ones do. Now, it clicks, of course, like I said, retractable. I love that about it. You'll see it is a 0.6 tip. So it is very, very, it's not super fine, but it's definitely not thick. which is great because it says what it is, a marker pen. So you can use it as a pen, and it's got that like brighter marker, you know, color, that bold color to it. I want to read a little bit on the back because that kind of helps. It's a water-based ink, fine felt tip for journaling, coloring, everyday writing. You don't have to worry about losing your cap, and you get 12 colors. And you'll see here kind of how, like if you were coloring something in, how there's no smearing or smudges. So I really love these. If I was going to grab any of them, and you may have the Mildliners already because I love those, and you know I do because I've talked about them so much. This is the one I would get. I think it's so cool. It writes as a pen here, and then it writes, you know, with that tip like a pen, but it's really got that bold color, you'll see, of a marker. So it may on the camera, I don't know if it's wanting to show it maybe a little fluorescent, I'm not sure, but it is not a fluorescent at all. It's just that true bright green color that you see right there. And so that, I'm gonna leave pictures as well of all of these color swatches, as well as the name of the markers and the points that they have on them, in images on my blog post. So down below, there's a link to the blog post. So if you wanna go and reference those in more detail when you're trying to decide what you want, you can definitely do that, okay? So this just kind of gives you an idea if you were to draw, you know, lines or coloring with it, writing out with it, and then of course coloring, like I just did the little hearts just to kind of give you an idea of what that would look like. So, and my little guy, he had got into these. I caught him just in the nick of time, so even he loves those. And then next we have the Mildliner Creative Markers. These are really, really cool because they have bold and fine. You get a double end on them. And I already had these actually, and so I have a bunch of them over here in my bag. And then this was a new color pack for me. This was the warm color set, and I absolutely love it. They're double end. You get a bold and a fine. This one right here, it's like an orange color, but I absolutely love it. And this is the warm pack, so it's really cool. It does highlight great. Y'all have seen me use it as a highlighter in my Bible. And then I love that you get this end here. That's it's a fine point, so you could even write with it. It's just a little bit thicker. So I don't think I would write with that one in my planner if I'm writing something small, because you're not going to be able to, it's going to, like, you know, run together. The marker pen would definitely do better for that. And so that's those. That would be your creative markers. And then here on the back, you'll see a little bit of what I'm talking about with bleed through. When I'm just writing with those marker pens, the retractable ones, you see a little minimal shadowing there. The creative markers, very minimal as well, probably even less. And then if you're going to do any kind of real, like, you know, coloring in a constant motion, like you continuously are coloring over something, you are going to get just a tad of bleed through, but it's mostly just a darker shadowing. So I was really pleased with that. In a planner, I don't think I'm going to be using those as much for coloring in anyways. So to just write, I was very, very, very happy about that. Okay. Now we'll go over here. We have these are really cool. So you've got your Mildliners, right, that are the double-ended. Well, you also have a Mildliner brush, which is really cool. So you can do like two ends again. It's just got that brush cap on the end. It's a, what I love, oh, I skipped one. We're down here, okay? You've got a brush and you've got a superfine. So you've got the superfine again, and then you have brush. So if you want to use these for some type of like lettering, that would be awesome. You'll see it's just very, very smooth. I love how it just glides on the page. And this happens to be all fluorescent colors that I have in this pack. So what I think would be neat is if you were to hand letter something, you could go back behind it if you had a bolder pink, and then you could go back with this and also brush and do kind of like a shadow, or put this down as like a fluorescent shadow and then do a brighter color, more bold color on top of it in a thinner line. Just an idea I was kind of thinking about with those. So those are a lot of fun. Those, if you like a fluorescent, would be great for highlighting too. And then we'll go over here to these brush pens. These are really cool. They are a brush pen, so it is definitely a pen. It's a super fine point. So you're kind of getting, like, the brush and the pen kind of confused me with such a super fine tip, but you're gonna get kind of like the best of both worlds with this one. And let me show you what I mean. So you get, let me just see real quick. You get these water-based dye ink colors. They are great for watercolor techniques, so that's what I thought was really, really cool. And they're also great because it gives you perfect control for beginning letterers. So you don't have to worry about if a big brush is intimidating to you. Something like this, look how fine it is. It's still going to have that brush feel and look to it. It's not a stiff tip, but it is much smaller, so it's really good for your learning with it to do that. So that's what I mean. Like, I love this one. I really do. I think it's cool. It does a real fine tip, and then you can also go in with your lettering and, like, you know, make the lines that go down thicker. If you're really good at lettering, it would be cool because you could add that little extra, you know, detail to it with this brush pen. Super fine point, and I love that. I love too these. I did more swatches, but you can't even see it. There's very, very minimal where that you probably can't even tell. So these are another really good option for using in a planner or a Bible journal because the colors are real vibrant as well. Now, one thing that I wanted to do, and I should have done, is I didn't test these in a Bible journal that has thinner pages. I did test it in here, and these pages are very, very similar, probably even thinner than like the illustrating Bible. So I know that it would work in on those pages probably without a doubt. And some of these that, if you're really careful, like the marker pen, I don't know that I would want to use it. Now the Mildliners, I know those highlight in the Bible without bleed through because I've shown that and done that a lot. So you just have to be kind of smart about it. If it's something really super thick and heavy, you know it's probably going to bleed through, and then, you know, you'd want to just avoid that. Now let's move over just for a little bit to pens. And I'm one of those people, I like to have a good black pen. Y'all know that. I want it to be a fine tip, so when I'm writing in my Bible or in a planner, it's not bleeding together and, you know, too thick. So the first we'll do this brush pen. Here it is. So if you are all about like artistic and lettering and that kind of thing, this one's cool. This is a black brush pen. This is in a medium tip, but these do come, it says, in super fine all the way up to medium and then double-ended, which is really nice. So these are for lettering illustrations. They're water resistant, and it says that the cap snaps really tight to maintain freshness, because you'll see this is a really high quality pen, really, and I love it. So look at that. Look at that, that brush tip on it. Really nice. And we'll just go over right here. You can see it's really, and if you wanted to really get in there with more detail, like I said, you can, but it writes right onto the page. It gives you that really nice, like, I kind of love that calligraphy, just brushed look, rather than something like a marker gives you. So that is the brush pen. If you're interested in something more for like lettering, if you do a lot of lettering on your Bible pages, those big, bold, pretty statements, this is a fun one. And then you could go back with some of the other colored markers to kind of add detail to it. That would be a lot of fun. Now these are really neat. I don't know that I would want to use these in my Bible unless you're using them in an illustrating Bible, because they're so, they're almost like a wet marker. It reminded me of a paint pen, but it's not. This is also a brush pen, but they're the metallic set. And this is also in medium. So it's similar to the black one, but they're just metallic. And oh my goodness, I have to show y'all. When you put it down on the page, let's do it right here so you can see. It almost appears like it's wet. See how that almost looks wet? And it just like, it dries almost instantly, okay? So it's so neat. I was so like, what? So, because I'm writing in here, doing these swatches, and I'm like, oh, that's wet, that's thick. And then I'm like, no, it's not, it's dry. But you get this really cool, shimmery, like high quality metallic look. Like, I was surprised. I didn't know if I would like these as much because, you know, it's kind of like, metallic, something you might use for something specific. But I don't know, guys, I'm really loving these. I loved how when I wrote, it almost looked wet. It was this thick, like paint look, but it wasn't at all. It was dry in no time. It just went smooth right onto the page. So I'm thinking like these would be cool to use and make a really cool page in an illustrating Bible, like I said, with writing out some kind of scripture. Or if you wanted to use them like on, if you're afraid it would bleed through your pages, you could always do it on like a piece of patterned paper and then cut something out and put it down in your Bible. I just loved those. So those actually became one of my favorites that was unexpected, and I think y'all would love those too. They also come in pink ink colors as well, like brighter colors. They're really great for light or dark paper, of course. So those were like a top runner that I didn't expect. Now here is the Zensations Technical Drawing Pens. I'm obsessed. These are probably my new favorite go-to. They are for technical drawing, supposedly, because they are such a great quality pen. They're acid-free, like archival, all of those things, but they come with, while they're technical drawing, is because they all are such a really fine tip. There's also a 0.1, which I have in my purse because I use it all the time, but this is like a 0.1, although I believe it's a 0.1 all the way to 0.8, and so I love too that it didn't bleed through. And you'll see, like, even the 0.8 is a finer tip. So, I mean, there's a difference between it and 0.3, but you would be able to definitely use that one, like in a planner or a Bible journal or anything like that, without worrying about it running together easily. So, I would say these are another huge favorite. If you're like me, you want a good black pen with a really nice fine tip, get this one. My problem is that I have bought good quality black pens in a pack of like 5 before. And this is a pack of 5 too. Like I said, I just don't have the other one. And what happens, that's gonna bug me. Hold on. And what happens is that you end up with like 1 or 2 maybe finer tips, and then the rest of them are like a medium up to a thicker, and then I run out of ink in the finer ones because I use them so much, and then I still have the thicker ones just sitting around. Not with this pack. I can use all of these as fine tips, so if I run out of one, I have the other one. I don't have to worry about that. That's why I'm saying this one's awesome, and I would recommend it for sure. Okay, we're almost there, guys. Hang in there. There's just so many fun pens, right? So the next one are these Sarasa Clip gel ink pens. Look how many choices. They're 20 count. These are the standard colors, and then they also have a milky colors. These do good, of course, on like darker pages or papers as well. They do work on light. You'll see they look more like a pastel on the lighter pages. And then it also says they come in a non-shimmering metallic, so that would be fun to try. I just don't have those. But the clip on them is really nice. They've made it to where it will clip onto like a journal or a book or something without coming off easily, which is really, really nice. I'll tell you why I love these, and there's 20 of them, because some of these colors, like, you're thinking, why do I need that many blues? Well, look at the way when I swatched or, wrote out with them. Look at this. This is what I loved. So it's a 0.5, which is like a finer tip, which I'm all about. And then look here. See, there's a big difference. Like, you get a navy. This is a navy, actually, this second one. And then these little blues right in here, they're so similar, but they're so different too. You get down to like almost just this, not periwinkle, but it's this very light blue that I really like. So that's one thing that sold me, is that the colors may look very similar in the pack, but when you go to write, they're actually very different in their own, little way, and I love that. Then you've got that really cool aqua color. So these are all the little colors that you'll have, and the same with a lot of the reds and purples and pinks. Very similar, but also, like, look at this. These pinks are actually, they look similar, but then those are the differences. So I thought that was so much fun, because they're very similar but very different, and you get so many choices with it. They're non-smearing. I love the gel ink because it writes very smooth, and then the milky colors, as you can see, are down there at the bottom as well. And I love how they even look on the white, more lighter colored paper. Look at that. Like, all of them still show up great. I thought those, I wouldn't like them as much because I thought they might only show up on like black paper. And you remember back in the day, maybe when that was cool to do. But they don't. They show up good. The only one you can't really see here is the white one, but the rest show up really well. And if you like using like a white pen for Bible journaling around like dark ink to kind of highlight it, some people do that. That would be great with that one. But these still would work great in a planner or on your Bible pages, because they still show up really good. So gel ink pens are another one that I would absolutely say would be great to have if you're wanting to grab something else in your collection. And then these are the last ones, which I loved. If you're wanting colored pencils, good colored pencils, these are great. They come in this pack of 12. What's cool is no sharpening needed, and they're all refillable. So you can actually, it tells you on the back where you can go and you can refill. It tells you the number that you would need, which is really great. So this is one you could have for years and years if you wanted to. It says they're available in 24 colors, so there's other colors that you can also get besides this one. And this is what's neat. So they really thought this out. Whenever you are coloring, you ever put them down and they just want to start rolling off your desk? Well, this is a triangle, so you don't have to worry about that. It will stay, it will never move. Pretty cool. And I love that pink color. It looks very, very pretty. And it's a great quality. Like, I want a color pencil when I'm trying some out that go on the page like, kind of like butter. And these are very, very smooth. They do that. They feel like they're creamy and rich, but they're not, it's not wet. And then you just press that. Of course, they go right back in and it protects the tip. That's another thing I love, is that they retract back in a way so I don't have to worry about them breaking in a cup. And also, I've got other color pencils that if they're too sharp and they need to be sharpened, the tip gets too sharp sometimes. You end up making big indentions in your page when you're coloring. With these, you don't have that problem. You could use the tip on the side and make it, you know, more fine, or just go on the top like that, and it'll make it more of a thicker look on the page. So I do love these. If you are looking for some good colored pencils, I think these are really fun. I love the way they've done them. And then they all have these numbers, so there's another pack of 12. You could look at getting the other colors that they have available. So that is it, guys. Thanks for sticking around. I'm just really excited about being able to share some of these new goodies with you as I work through my Bible and different projects. I will be posting and sharing more, so make sure you're following me over on Instagram, where I'll be sharing, you know, lots of my pages, or I'll be sharing them here in my videos. But I do want to leave you with this. If I was going to say that you should, if you're asking me if I could walk away with a few top things, what would be your top products that you would say would be great for someone starting out, or maybe somebody that just wants to build their collection? And I'm going to say, if you love a good black pen with lots of fine tips like me, then definitely these technical drawing pens. Okay, those I love. If that's kind of the thing you're wanting, I would say start with those. Again, there's a fifth one in there. And then if you're wanting some more colors and branching out, then go with the Sarasa clip, I believe I'm saying that right, the gel pens, because you get 20 colors, so you've got a large variety to build up a collection, and there's so many different unique colors. That's what I really loved about this one. And then my third top choice would definitely be, well, I've got to pick 4, because it just depends. Like, if you're not needing black pens, then you might want to go with something else. The retractable marker pen, absolutely. This could be used as a marker to color with. It's retractable. You don't have to worry about it getting a mess everywhere or breaking at the ends. And I also loved it because it's on the other page, I believe, because I could use it as a pen in my planner and it didn't bleed through. That was the other reason that I really liked it. And then you guys know, this is kind of just a given, I don't even have to recommend it here, are the Mildliner markers, because they are beautiful. They're great for highlighting. You get the double end, and they're good for coloring like they are markers, but they're great for highlighters too. So these are not just the only colors. As you saw, I had more in my bag, but you can get larger packs. I'm gonna have all of this stuff though linked down below to help you guys out, so make sure you check that out down below. Let me know what you're gonna grab, what your top picks are. I would kind of like to see, almost like a little survey, but not really, of what is y'all's favorites. And so I would love to look through the comments at that. And let me know if you have like specific questions on any of them that I might not have covered, because there is a lot and I wanted to make sure to get all of it to you. And if there is something I skipped, or you just have a specific question, leave it down below and I'll make sure to get back with you. And that is it, guys. Make sure that you have subscribed, that you click that bell icon so you know when the next video is coming out. And I'll see y'all again soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.